Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of a different video, sponsored by Busch Light. Anyways, I've had a few requests to just do a tiny little video demonstrating a little bit about basic death metal guitar. Thanks to anybody that's watched my Facebook videos. Alright, little technical stuff. This is my BC Rich Mockingbird. This is my favorite death metal guitar, especially to play live. This guitar I keep essentially detuned to C sharp. Now, if you're playing death metal, you don't have to play detuned. My band, my old band Reasonable Deception, I was a lead guitar player for 12 years. We played in E, 440 standard tuning. I particularly like that bright sound for that style of music that I wrote and did. I like doing the harmonies in that, but a lot of the death metal that I cover on my videos is in C sharp, and it's a fun key to play in because it's so deep and it's just fucking heavy. Alright, anyways, I'm going to demonstrate some very basic stuff that if you are a guitar player, it's basic. If you're not a guitar player, it might seem kind of hard and advanced, but I'm going to just demonstrate a few ways to play in basically the key of C, which is the major key, meaning no sharps or flats, and I'm going to, towards the end, add two little variations, which is an A sharp, and which is a brighter sounding note and chord, which I particularly like when I write music, and an F sharp, which is the opposite, which is a little bit darker sound. If you're playing in the major key and you just add these one or two notes, you change the whole concept of the piece you're writing. But the basis of this video is going to be about simple stuff. You know, picking is just so vital if you're starting out doing death metal or any metal, but specifically death metal. You're going to be doing a lot of picking, lots of picking. So we're going to keep this as simple as I can do it, and we're going to start with basically the essential note of all notes, which is the open E. And I strum it like that. This is the open E chord. Now, when you notice, I'm playing this cleanly. When I do it, I pick it like this, and you notice my picking hand. I lift it up. That's mainly from playing a lot of live shows, going like that. But if I'm just in the studio, I'm like this. I lift my hand cleanly away from any clean chords I'm playing, because you get your hand off there and you get that ring, the sustain. Now I'm going to be going from the standard E here. I'm going to go to the G chord. And I'm going to go up here to the A chord. And this is all I'm going to use until I add the A sharp and F sharp later. So the basis of what I'm trying to get across is, by changing your picking and the nuances of how you arrange them, you can take something very simple and make it really cool. And if you're starting new, I can't express how much you just have to practice this. Just that. And then changing to this. Not this. You want this. And it's a little harder than it looks if you don't play. Now, if you're going like this, something very simple. The key to that is stroking the notes, which I'm only using the top two strings, where my pick comes across it very precisely. You get that clean sound. Now we're going to add some mute, and we're also going to add some downstroking, which is going to change the whole concept of this very simple thing. And this is why I'm doing this video, because this is fun. Watch. Now, that's very simple, but it's, if you're starting out, those simple things you just got to do over and over. And you want to do them slow before you get them right. You know, you're not going to get them right unless you go slow. You see here, I'm letting that ring out. If you're going in slow motion, so I'm letting that ring out, and then I'm palm muting. And it's something, palm muting is something it's hard to teach. You have to just practice, and you can just practice like this. Just hitting these top two strings. You can do that forever. And then, you know, you can practice getting them to where it's clean, and everybody has their own picking style, but to get those, that's the preciseness of death metal, you have to have that. And if I'm going to do it, you know, if you watch, I'm going to do these 3 chords, and I'll mix them up, and you'll see my hand, and if you watch closely, this is really where the preciseness and the clarity of death metal music really comes from the picking hand. Now I'm going to change this up even again. I'm going to add a different picking technique. I'm going to gallop, which is this. We're taking the pick, and me personally, when I go like this, that's just open. When I gallop, I switch, and I move this around like this. Some people don't. Some people go like this. James Hetfield kind of does that more. I personally, I switch. So I have a couple different ways I pick. So if I'm going to hit an open chord, and then I'm going to gallop, I'm going to turn it. So I'm going to go. That's a basic gallop, and you can speed that up. And you can mix them together. You slow it down. Now for the piece that I'm doing, these basic 3 chords, I'm going to mix it up with open chords, the palm muting, and the gallop. Alright, like this. Now, you can also, these are, and like I say, you cannot, I can't stress this enough, you can sit here for fucking weeks, months, doing nothing. Put this hand behind your back, and just go like this. You see how my hand moves when I'm doing that from and I'm not saying that's right or wrong, that's just my personal technique, because I really pay close attention to the sound I'm getting reverberating from these to here. It's pretty important in death metal. There's other things where I'm not going to get into, I don't have time for this video, where you go straight up tremolo picking, which is extremely fast picking, which can go with palm mute, open, where I'm going like this. I'm going to get into that. So I'm going to use those multiple techniques, and I'm going to just throw in the A sharp and the F sharp and give you an idea of changing keys. So to somebody who's played guitar for a long time, this is pretty boring. But if you're new into guitar, this is, I think, insightful. Right there, I just added that A sharp, that brighter sound. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add the F sharp, which is a more darker sound. That F sharp is a darker sound. And I guess my lesson is twofold. I'm maybe throwing too much, where I'm trying to kind of blend song making and just slight notes, changing key. You don't have to be, Yngwie Malmsteen doing a bunch of crazy key changes to make cool music. But I cannot stress enough the picking and the actual clarity of your chords. Just those two chords, you can spend hours and hours, and you have to if you want to play death metal. And then, then there's lots of cool stuff that comes later. Maybe I'll do some other videos, some harmonics, hammer-ons and pull-offs. And the thing I love the most is the speed. That comes, after you start with this. Just right there. Just that little part right here. You cannot practice that enough if you're starting.